welcome to my channel. I am Catherine. I am a travel agent with Straightaway Travel, and I am going to talk to you guys today about a recent Disney cruise I went on the Disney Dream. I'm so excited. I'm going to have several videos. This main video is going to be just some tips and tricks that I feel like might be helpful, especially from a couple's point of view who does not have kids. My husband and I don't have kids, and we went on a 5-day cruise out of Miami to Grand Cayman and Castaway Cay. Had an absolute blast, and I'm really excited to share everything I learned with you guys. So there was a few things that I kind of disagreed with a lot of the videos I watched. I read blogs, watched videos, all of these things before we left on our cruise, and a lot of them had some great information, and there were some things that I felt were kind of unnecessary, or didn't maybe pertain to us because we're just a couple traveling without kids. So a few things. One of the things that I forgot to bring that was on my list was glow sticks for the bathroom for a nightlight. Thankfully, it ended up they were not necessary, honestly. And it depends on maybe how good your eyesight is, but if you leave the light on in the bathroom, there's light coming through the bottom of the door from the hallway and a little bit from the bathroom, so it's not complete pitch dark and you can see some. Maybe, the glow stick would have been helpful, but it wasn't something that was absolutely necessary. If you have kids, I could see you might really want a nightlight in there, or something like that, so they feel safer or can see easier. But for us, it ended up being something that I didn't really miss. One thing that is an absolute must is a plug that has different outlets on it. So the way their plugs work is they're like the large round plugs. They're not, just a normal like two-pronged outlet plug. So you do really need to bring that. I bought one on Amazon. I will share the link in the description below for some of the things I purchased, but that came in really handy for charging our cell phones and stuff like that. They do have a hairdryer. Big tip, there is a special outlet for the hairdryer. I had a bunch of stuff on the counter and I didn't realize there was a special outlet, so I was plugging it into just a regular outlet, and it did not work worth a toot. I was like, oh my gosh, next time I really need to bring my own hairdryer, because it took like 20 minutes to dry my hair because there was just no power. But it turns out there's a special outlet for it that I discovered, unfortunately, on the very last day. So it even says hairdryer above it, so make sure you're using the hairdryer outlet. I was not. One thing that I was super pleasantly surprised about was there is tons of storage in these rooms. So much storage. You have, especially as just a couple, you have plenty of space to put everything. There's 2 sets of 3 drawers. They have a mini fridge, several, I would say, I think there was 6 to 8 different shelves. There's 2 separate closets, so we had a his and a her closet with plenty of space to hang up all of our clothes. That's another big tip. The first day when you get there, you won't be able to get into your room until around 1:30, and then our bags are dropped off probably around 2:30 or 3 o'clock, I think. But as soon as we got our bags in the room, we just unpacked everything and put it away. And then the bed is raised up enough where you can just slide your suitcases under the bed, and that helped a lot with having enough space to move around. This is not the kind of trip where you can live out of your suitcase the whole week like I normally do. You really do need to put away all of your stuff, and thankfully there's plenty of space to do so. So that's a big recommendation, is the first day, unpack all of your stuff, organize it, and put those suitcases underneath the bed. It makes a lot easier. You have a lot more space. We had a veranda room, and we did what they call the guaranteed rate. So on some Disney cruises, they offer a guaranteed rate, What that is it's a huge discount, um, and it's non-refundable. You have to pay in full at the time of booking, and then whatever room category you choose, for example, we chose the deluxe veranda. They assign your room. So you get the deluxe veranda room, but they assign it. You can't choose it. Um, we ended up with a room by the elevators in the forward of the ship, which was great. We did feel movement. I definitely felt movement. I didn't get seasick or anything or nauseous, but I did get a little bit dizzy and I felt a lot of movement. We got stuck in some bad weather, I think, a couple times, like overnight. And when you laid down, like I could really feel it. I don't mind being in the forward or the midship, but I will say if I got a guaranteed room again and then I ended up being in the aft, that would kind of suck. You feel the movement the most back there. And I think I would definitely get dizzy if I was in the aft. So, you are taking a risk, but for us, we were really on a budget and we were trying to do everything as economically as possible. So, we saved like, I think it was like $1,000 by doing the guaranteed room, and it really ended up being worth it for us. I would definitely risk it and do it again. It just was a good experience overall. We didn't get our room assigned until like a week before the cruise, so I was anxiously awaiting where our room was going to be. I was a little bit worried that the elevators would be loud, but not at all. They're like in a completely, even if on the map it says you're next to them, they're kind of like tucked away. You don't hear anything at all. I actually would prefer being by the elevators again because it saves time and a bunch of walking and everything else. It's just easier to be by the elevators, so I would choose to be by the elevators again if I was choosing my own stateroom. So elevators are great. I would recommend forward and midship. I personally would not want to be in the aft. If you know you're not going to be dizzy or seasick, then it's fine. But midship or forward is where I would want to be in the future for sure. I really wanted to utilize all of our time, so I made sure that I checked in at midnight. I believe it was 30 days in advance. I was online at midnight checking us in. So I got us into boarding group number 4. So we were able to check in at the port at 11:15. I think check in for like everyone who's not concierge or part of a castaway group can start at 11, so we were only 15 minutes in, which was great. We actually didn't end up getting onto the ship until about 12, I would say. So how it worked is we checked in and then they put us kind of like in a little holding group for a while, and then we were able to get on the ship. Um, it's just beautiful. The ship is beautiful. It was a very quick check-in time as far as like, actually showing our passports and things like that. I was really nervous because I didn't have a passport. It hadn't come yet, so I was using my birth certificate and my driver's license. And I have a different last name now from my birth certificate because I got married and changed my name. So I also brought my marriage license because I was really paranoid they were going to ask me for it. They did not at any point even mention the fact that I had a different last name. So, you know, if you have it, I guess bring it if you just want to be safe. But like literally a few days before, because we had mailed in my marriage license for my passport, so we didn't have it. So like 2 days before the cruise, I made my husband go downtown and get another copy of our marriage license just to be safe. But I really wouldn't worry about that. At no point did anyone ask me for the marriage license. The app completely changes once you get onto the ship. It shows you like all of these things to do, tons of activities. It was really great. I was really anxious about leaving my pets and not having any communication with my mom who was watching them, but I was able to iMessage her pretty much the whole cruise with the exception of like 2 days or like maybe a day and a half where it just wasn't working. But for the most part, I was able to iMessage her. I couldn't send or receive like photos or videos, but I could message her, and that was great. We did not pay for an internet package. I've heard it's not worth it. the Wi-Fi works for the app, and then again, I messaged my mom a little bit, and other than that, I just totally disconnected and wasn't on the internet, which was awesome. That was probably one of the best perks of being on a cruise was both of us were off of our phones, really engaging with each other and just in our surroundings, and I really enjoyed being disconnected for a week. Was really great. We kind of headed straight to lunch our first day. I was initially had heard through the grapevine that you only had like shrimp and crab and like that kind of thing in the buffet the very first day, but we had it the whole time. The food was awesome. I mean, I had heard mixed reviews about the food, but I loved the food. I thought pretty much everything I ate was great. Obviously, like I didn't absolutely love every single thing I ate, but overall, I thought the food was very high quality, tasty, good, whatever. So I really enjoyed all the food. The service was amazing. All of our wait staff was great. We had the later dinner time of 8:15. I was not able to change it. I kind of wanted to. I would like to do the earlier dining time just to see what the difference is. The only downside to the later dining time for me was that there was a lot of like adult only activities that started at like, 9:30, 10 o'clock, and dinner took forever. Every single night, dinner took a minimum of 2 hours. I mean, we were lucky to get out by 10 o'clock. I did find out that they serve people who have children first. So that would be why we were like some of the very last tables at dinner every single night. I get why they do that, but you know, I would have liked dinner to go faster. It didn't, make me have a bad cruise or anything, but we did miss out on some nighttime activities because dinner took so long. So we were kind of like rushing to some different activities every night after dinner. They had like a lot of game shows, they had different happy hours, trivias, just a lot of fun things going on that we would have been able to see more of if we had had an earlier dinner time. But on the flip side of that, being able to do more things during the day and not have to be anywhere until 6 o'clock was nice because at 6 o'clock was when the plays were happening. I went to all of the, well, okay, there was three plays on the ship. Believe, The Golden Mickeys, and Beauty and the Beast. And then the other two nights, one night they had a magician, and then one night they just showed the new movie Strange World. So I skipped the magician and the Strange World night. I just didn't care to go and see it. I would say my favorite play personally was probably The Golden Mickeys. That was our very first night. It was so, all the plays were so good. The musicals were just amazing. But The Golden Mickeys just hit me in my feels and was really nostalgic, and I just really loved that. The other couples I was with, though, they loved Believe the most. That was their favorite. So everybody has their own, personal favorites, but all of the plays were good. Definitely make sure you go to the plays, even if you skip the magician and the movie night. Go to the three plays. They're so worth it. Really, really good. We bought a popcorn bucket, so we refilled it for $1. If you buy, go ahead and if you think you want a popcorn bucket, even just as a souvenir or whatever, go ahead and buy it on the first night because then your refills are only $1 the rest of the week. I also bought a mug that I refilled. I forget how much that was because my husband refilled it, maybe $1 too, with soda, but I collect those mugs and I love them, so it was a Christmas one, so I bought it. We just had a really good time. So the pools, I will say the water is really cold, not really cold, but it's kind of chilly. So they drain all of the pools and sanitize them and refill them every night. So it kind of makes it so the water never gets like super warm. So really we only went to the pool the first day at sea. Our very first day we did get in the hot tub like before a bunch of people got on the ship. We went ahead and changed, as soon as we got our luggage, went to the hot tub. That was super nice. But the rest of the week, the hot tub was pretty crowded. The adult-only sections were not packed. I mean, at no time in any adult-only section did I feel like, hey, this is super overcrowded. They were not packed, which was super nice. It was just the water was kind of chilly, so we didn't do that a lot. And also, like, especially the days at sea, there are so many activities of things that I personally enjoy that, like, didn't even get them all done. So they had tons of trivia. They had a D23 show. They had like seminars where you could get free jewelry, arts and crafts, coloring, two different cooking shows. For extra money, they had like wine, beer, whiskey tasting. Just so bingo, of course, movies playing all day, just so much stuff. They had a detective agency game that my husband and I played that was really fun. So just so many activities that, like, even if you're not at the pool, there's still lots of other things to do. So I was absolutely shocked with how much stuff there was to do every day. Again, didn't even fit it all in for everything I wanted to get done. And it depends on what you're interested in. Like, so for my husband and I, this type of cruise, like a Disney cruise, is absolutely perfect. My husband's completely sober and I don't really drink very much, and I love Disney stuff. So, like, he was able to go to the gym. They had a nice gym because he likes to work out. Um, we loved playing trivia. So, like, all of the things that my nerdy heart loves, trivia, coloring, all that kind of thing, that was what the cruise was. So for me, just lots to do. I loved every minute of it. Um, Castaway Cay was amazing. Again, we spent the day in the adults only section. It was not crowded. There was tons of seating left on the beach. I just spent the day in the water all day. And it was awesome. The weather was great. We got rained on a little bit, but it was fine. Um, I will say overall, the food at Castaway Cay was the most disappointing. The only like really good thing was the ribs. The burgers were super dry. I just didn't love, it's called Cookies barbecue. I don't really know why they call it barbecue because the only kind of barbecue thing was the ribs. But it was like ribs, burgers, hot dogs, roasted chicken. It was okay, but overall, that was definitely my most disappointing food day. Um, but the ice cream was delicious. The ice cream was so freaking good. So definitely get the ice cream. But the water was beautiful and we had a great day at Castaway Cay. I spent way too much money on souvenirs. That's kind of, where my husband and I like to shop, and we did not sign up for any excursions, which was twofold, partially because I didn't want to spend the money, but also partially because we booked this cruise, I think like 40 or 50 days in advance. So several of the things that like I would have wanted to do were already taken because you can book excursions 75 days in advance. And we're just really chill. We just kind of went with the flow and we had an amazing time even not booking excursions. So that's another big tip is like, even if you either don't have the money or you sign up late or whatever, if you don't book excursions, you're still going to have a great time. Like, not having excursions planned or things planned every single day is totally fine. Like I said, we spent our day at Serenity Bay at Castaway Cay, which is, their adults only section. The water was gorgeous. We swam all day. It was great. And then we went shopping in all the little stores and walked around. And you can rent like snorkel equipment and floaties and stuff for like 10-15 bucks. I had thought about doing that, but I ended up getting caught up talking to some people and the day just like flew by, honestly. But so yeah, we had a great time even without booking anything. And then for Grand Cayman, which was absolutely gorgeous. Grand Cayman was so pretty. We didn't have anything booked there either, and we got off the ship and there was shuttles right there that could take us to the 7 Mile Beach, which I had heard was pretty. So I was like, oh, let's do that. So we took the shuttle to the 7 Mile Beach, hung out for like 3 hours. It was gorgeous, of course. Not super crowded. We didn't even rent beach chairs. Like, we spent no money there at all and still had a blast. And then just got on the shuttle back. You do have to pay for the shuttle, and they only take cash. They take American money, so bring cash. but took the shuttle back, and then we shopped around and walked all around, their stores and downtown area and stuff. And then got back on the ship. We had lunch on the ship because we got back on the boat at like maybe 1:30. And we had lunch on the boat, and then took advantage of kind of an emptier ship with the hot tubs and stuff. So we had a great day, just being relaxed and hanging out. One of the things I like to collect is Christmas ornaments. So I got a Christmas ornament from Grand Cayman, and overall it was just, we had a wonderful, wonderful time. But I'm going to be making even more videos. I'm going to be having, this was just kind of like a brief overview with some things I noticed and some little tips and stuff like that. But I'm going to be doing specific breakdown videos for each day we were there. So go check out my channel for those. So there'll be 5 different videos, one for each day we cruised, but that will be a lot more detailed. And then I'm also going to make a packing video specific for packing. But please drop any questions you have in the comments. I'm happy to chat. Again, I am a travel agent, so if you're looking to book, I'd love to help you out. But even if you just have questions, if you're already booked, you have questions about going on a cruise, anything like that, please let me know. I also, I book Walt Disney World, Disneyland, Alani, Adventures by Disney, anything Disney, I am your go-to, so I'm happy to talk to you and help you out in any way I can. And check out my channel for those other videos. Thanks so much. Hi everyone, my name is Catherine. I'm a travel agent with Straightaway Travel, and I recently went on the Disney Dream on a very maritime cruise. This video is going to cover day 1 of our cruise, the day we boarded the ship. I'm going to do a very detailed overview of our day and just kind of how it went and any tips along the way. Please drop any questions you have in the comment and enjoy.